Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm your guide on this journey through the cool matrix. If you are here, it's because you want to master Docker on Linux, but also because the annoying Docker desktop error, an unexpected error occurred, or Docker desktop getting stuck in initializing and never finishing has probably been driving you crazy. Don't worry, today I bring you the ultimate tutorial, the one I wish I had when I started. We are going to install Docker Engine and powerful Docker Desktop, and most important, we are going to fix the error. First, we need the core, the Docker Engine. We will install it using the official repository, which is the cleanest and safest way. This guide is for Ubuntu Debian, but the steps are similar on Fedora, Red Hat by changing apt to DNF or jump. The first step is to update the system and update the repositories, basically. The second step is to install HTOP because these tools will help us monitor CPU and memory behavior. In case that we have another instance of Docker Desktop, we need to remove it completely with the following commands. In my case, I don't have any instance of Docker Desktop, so in this case you can see this error, not choose file for directory. Install essential dependencies like curl, software properties common, and others. We need to add the GP key. This key verifies that the package being downloaded are authentic and from Docker. Here, copy-paste the following commands. Then, next step, configure the Docker repository. Now, we tell the system where to find the package. Then, step A. Install Docker Engine. We update the package list again and install the main package alone or its tools. Check the Docker service status. It's important to verify it to know where it's running or not. We can see in this case that the Docker service is active and running. Step 10. Download and install Docker Desktop. It's important to download the latest version. The next step is to run the following command for post-configuration. Create a symbolic link. And the last step at this moment is to verify the Docker version. Here we can see the Docker 28.4.0 and the Docker Composer. At this moment, we have installed Docker Engine and Docker Desktop for Debian Linux 12. This was the main reason for creating this video. The error is a headache for Linux community. This is the solution for an error in Docker Desktop. An unexpected error occurred or it's getting stuck initializing. Sometimes when the initializing Docker Desktop, I've seen the error an unexpected error with the details message running engine waiting for Docker API context deadline exceed. After reviewing the issue several times, I observed that the error occurs because Docker engine runs out of the resources. We will do this step by step. The first point is to validate if the file or folder .docker exists. At this case, this moment, this folder doesn't exist. Before to start Docker Desktop, I need to run the command htop. Why? Because in this case, I need to see how Docker Desktop is consuming the resources. I need to start Docker Desktop. We can see in this case how the CPU is consuming all. In this case, I accept. Skip this configuration and wait for Docker engine starts. What is the solution about the error or this behavior? The first step is to stop Docker Desktop. The next step is to edit Docker Desktop and settings. We need to add different rows and need to replace all of this code by this one. The main point here, in my case, I have 5 CPUs, but for Docker Desktop, I need to assign only 3 instead of 5. Also for the memory, in my case, I contain 10 gigabytes of memory RAM, but in this case, I assign only close to 5 gigabytes. Add different flags like CPUs, disable update, this size megabytes, enable Docker AI, enable Docker MCP toolkit, last container, and the last one, use resources saver, false. I need to save the file. In some cases, I recommend to restart the virtual machine. Here we are again. I need to log in. I need to open terminal. And run again the Docker Desktop. And run again the Docker Desktop. It's starting. When Docker Desktop starts again, it takes time to finalize the starting. Here, we can see now that Docker Desktop is running smoothly without issues. For example, in this case, we can go to configurations, settings, see resources. We have at this moment 3 CPU instead of 5. We can increase different points like this usage swap. In this case, we need to disable resource saver. And after that, it's done. Also your machine. With these three steps, installing Docker Engine, Docker Desktop, and the error solution, there are no more excuses not to start with containers. If this tutorial was helpful, share the video with that person you know struggling with the same error. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment with your Linux distribution and where you succeed. See you in the next video.